You open your eyes as Amber. Your torch is already burning. You do not remember lighting it. You do not remember entering the arena. You do not even remember the battle. There is black fire fluid beneath your feet, spreading slowly across the ground. It should flow downhill. Instead, it moves towards you. Your ammunition is completely empty, so you wait. One flame returns, then another, but with each section of your ammunition bar that refills, something disappears from your mind. Your mother's face, the place where you grew up, your real name. You try to step away from the puddle. The fluid wraps around your ankles. Then, from somewhere beneath its dark surface, you hear your own voice whisper, "This is fine," but your mouth never moved. What is good, ladies and gents? I hope you're all having a really good week. Today, we are doing something different. Today, you are Amber. And by the end of this story, you may understand why Amber fires one continuous stream of flame. Why she carries a torch even though the fire appears to come directly from her. Why her super creates a pool of fluid that waits patiently for her to ignite it. Why standing close to that fluid makes her fire return faster. Why she can leave it behind while running. Why 3 separate flames can circle her body and attack without being individually controlled. Why she dresses like a performer instead of someone protecting herself from fire. And why one of Amber's strangest lines might be far more literal than anyone realized. I will re-Amber you. Because what if Amber's abilities are not simply fire tricks? What if every ability is part of a containment system? And what if the real Amber has been dead for years? You wake inside a room beneath Poco's bandstand. The air is unbearably hot, but your skin does not burn. Your costume is still on your body. The bright performer's clothing, the decorative bands, the outfit the audience recognizes immediately. There is no protective helmet, no heavy fireproof suit, no mask covering your lungs. For someone who spends every battle surrounded by flames, your clothing offers almost no real protection. You have always assumed that was because you did not need it. Fire cannot hurt Amber, but as you examine the outfit more closely, you notice small metal clips hidden along the seams. Wires run beneath the fabric. Thin tubes circle your waist and disappear beneath your skin. This is not a costume, it is a monitoring device disguised as one. Starr Park did not dress you to survive the fire. They dressed you so the audience would not notice the machines keeping you together. You pull at one of the tubes. A voice speaks from a speaker in the ceiling. Please do not interfere with containment. Containment, not treatment, not protection, containment. You raise your torch. The flame grows immediately. The voice corrects itself. Amber, everything is fine. You have heard that sentence before. You have said it yourself. This is fine. Players hear Amber say it while she is being injured. It sounds like a joke, a reference to someone pretending not to panic while everything burns around them. But what if Amber is not joking? What if "this is fine" is a command? A phrase Starr Park taught her to repeat whenever she begins remembering? Your breathing becomes faster. The flame at the end of your torch becomes longer. The room responds to your fear. Sprinklers descend from the ceiling, but they do not release water. They spray a thin orange vapor. The moment you inhale it, your thoughts become slower. You hear the speaker again. This is fine. Without choosing to, you repeat, this is fine. The fire becomes smaller. That is why Amber says it. Not because she finds danger funny, because the words calm down whatever is living inside her. You search the room. On one wall, a large glass window looks into a laboratory. Behind the glass are dozens of containers filled with dark fire fluid, the same substance Amber throws with her super. Some containers are almost empty, others are full. Inside the nearest one, something moves. You press your face against the glass. A hand appears in the liquid. Then a face, your face. The woman inside the container opens her eyes. She is wearing your costume. She is holding your torch. She silently mouths 2 words, "Help me." You stumble backwards. Every container begins shaking. Different versions of you appear inside them. One has shorter hair. One is badly burned. One is still dressed in ordinary clothes instead of Amber's performer costume. One looks older, one looks terrified. Then you understand why Amber's super is carried inside a glass flask. The substance is not ordinary fuel, it is Amber, or pieces of her. Every pool thrown into the arena contains a portion of Amber's body, memories or consciousness. That is why the fluid responds only when touched by her flame. It recognizes her. It is waiting to reconnect. A metal door opens behind you. A Starr Park scientist enters. His face is hidden by a reflective mask. He holds a clipboard. "Good morning, Amber. Who are they?" He looks towards the containers. "Previous attempts." You ask what he means. The scientist does not answer. Instead, he gestures towards a target painted on the far wall. "Please demonstrate your main attack." Your torch ignites. You do not decide to attack. Your arm raises by itself. A continuous stream of fire tears across the room. Not separate shots, not individual projectiles. One unbroken flame. The scientist watches your ammunition meter fall. When it reaches 0, the fire stops. Your body suddenly feels empty, cold, weak. You wait for the ammunition to return. But instead of hearing a reload mechanism, you hear screaming from inside your chest. The first section refills. You forget the name of the scientist. The second section refills. You forget how long you have been inside the laboratory. The third section refills. You forget the faces inside the containers. By the time your ammunition is full, you are smiling again. "Good morning," the scientist says. You look at him. "Who are you?" He makes a note on his clipboard. This is why Amber does not reload like other brawlers. There is no visible magazine, no new fuel tank, no ammunition being inserted into her torch. The flame simply returns over time. Because Amber is not reloading a weapon, the system is burning pieces of her memory and converting them into fire. Every second Amber attacks, she loses herself. Every second she waits, Starr Park chooses what she is allowed to remember next. The scientist places one of the glass flasks into your hand. Super test. You throw it, the container breaks, fire fluid covers the laboratory floor. The face inside the puddle opens its eyes. It looks directly at you. You hear a memory inside your head. You are younger, standing on a small stage. Your hands are shaking. The audience is laughing because you dropped your torch again. Someone backstage says Amber will never become a real fire performer. You remember crying alone after the show. The memory feels real, personal, yours. Then your flame touches the puddle. The memory catches fire. The younger Amber screams. The entire pool ignites, and the memory disappears. You no longer remember your first performance. You only remember that you have always loved fire. That is why the puddle remains on the ground until Amber chooses to ignite it. It is not waiting to become fire. It is waiting to see whether Amber is willing to destroy another part of herself. And this explains something even darker. With one of Amber's star powers, she can maintain 2 pools of fluid at once. While standing near them, she charges another super. In the game, that is useful. But inside this theory, those pools are memory anchors. 2 pieces of Amber can exist outside her body at the same time. They call to her. They feed information back into her. And when she stands close enough, she begins producing another one. The scientist makes you approach the puddle. The closer you get, the faster your power returns. Your flame becomes stronger. Your ammunition refills more quickly. That is Amber's scorching siphon. But where is the extra energy coming from? The pool is giving itself back to you. You are siphoning the remains of a previous Amber. Her fear becomes your fire. Her memories become your ammunition. Her identity becomes your weapon. You begin hearing every version inside the fluid. Some beg you not to ignite them. Some curse Starr Park. One repeatedly whispers, "You are not the original." You run. Immediately, your speed increases. Fire fluid begins leaking behind you. That is Amber's fire starter's gadget. Players activate it and watch Amber move faster while leaving a trail of fuel. But why would a trained fire performer deliberately spill dangerous liquid everywhere she runs? Because it is not deliberate. Fire starters is a containment breach. When Amber panics, the tubes beneath her costume open. Starr Park releases part of the substance from her body to reduce the pressure. She becomes faster because she is lighter, and the trail left behind is not fuel escaping a container. It is Amber bleeding. You reach the laboratory door. 3 balls of fire appear around you, dancing flames. They begin circling your body. At first, you think they are protecting you. Then you realize they are blocking every possible escape. You step left, one moves left. You step backwards, another closes the space behind you. The flames do not obey your hands. You are not aiming them. They are moving independently. They are not your weapons. They are guards. 3 fragments of the creature inside you, released whenever Starr Park believes the host may escape. The scientist walks calmly towards you. Please return to your testing area. You tell him you are Amber. You tell him the flames belong to you. He tilts his head. Which Amber? The lights go out. Red emergency lamps illuminate the laboratory. Every container unlocks. Black fluid begins pouring across the floor. The room fills with versions of your own voice. This is lit. Burn Voyage, Firestarter, this is fine. Lines repeated so many times they no longer sound human. They are not jokes, they are training phrases. Simple sentences taught to each new Amber. Starr Park uses them to test whether a reconstruction can speak. If it wakes up and repeats the correct fire puns, the experiment is considered successful. The scientist backs away as the fluid covers the room. You step inside it. Your body becomes stronger. Your flame returns instantly. Thousands of memories rush into you. And now you finally remember the first Amber. She was a struggling performer, talented but nervous, clumsy with her equipment, desperate to impress Starr Park. Management offered her a new type of fire fluid. They told her it would make the performance unforgettable. During the first test, Amber spilled the entire container over herself. A spark touched it. She burned alive beneath Poco's bandstand. But the fire did something impossible. It recorded her. Her voice, her face, her movements, her need to perform. Then it rebuilt her from the fluid. The Amber who walked out of that room looked almost perfect. But Starr Park noticed small errors. She was more confident than before, louder, more reckless. She laughed at danger. She made constant jokes about burning. The fire had copied Amber's personality without understanding it. It remembered that performers should smile, so Amber smiled while injured. It remembered that entertainers make jokes, so Amber made jokes about death. It remembered that Amber wanted to be famous, so she announced, "Guess I'm famous now." The real Amber died during that first performance. Every Amber since then has been another reconstruction. That is why she says, "I will re-Amber you." Not remember, re-Amber, to create Amber again. The line is not a threat, it is the name of the process. When an Amber is destroyed, the fluid rebuilds another one. Same costume, same torch, same voice lines. Enough memories to enter the arena. Not enough memories to understand what she is. You look at the scientist. How many times? He checks the clipboard. Today? Your flame rises. He quickly corrects himself. Amber reconstruction number 812. Behind the glass, alarms begin sounding. The fire fluid has reached the ventilation system. It spreads through the laboratory, up the walls, into the ceiling. The oil spill has begun. Amber's hypercharge allows the puddle to cover a larger area and continue burning after ignition. That means the fire no longer needs Amber to keep feeding it. It can survive independently. The experiment Starr Park created is evolving. For years, it needed an Amber-shaped body, a torch, a costume, voice lines, a performer the audience would recognize. But every battle taught it more. Every enemy it burned gave it new information. Every Amber it reconstructed made the copy more accurate. Now the fluid moves without you. It climbs the scientist's legs. He becomes trapped inside it. Sticky oil. He struggles, but the substance tightens around him. It does not kill him immediately. First, it studies him. His face begins appearing inside the puddle. Then his voice comes from your mouth. Please return to your testing area. You did not choose to say it. The fire is learning how to become him. You raise your torch. For the first time, you understand the choice Amber makes every time she uses her super. Ignite the fluid and destroy everything stored inside it, or leave it alive and allow it to keep learning. The scientist begs you not to light the puddle. The voices of the previous Ambers beg you to do it. You lower the flame. The fluid ignites. The laboratory disappears beneath orange fire. The scientist screams. The containers shatter. Hundreds of ambers burn at once. Then, you wake inside an arena. Your torch is already lit. Your costume is clean. Your memories are gone. Across the battlefield, Poco waves at you. You okay, Amber? You smile automatically. This is fine. The match begins. You release a continuous stream of fire. You throw a flask onto the ground. You stand beside the puddle and feel your power returning. Everything appears normal, exactly as players have experienced hundreds of times. But as you walk away, the fluid remains behind. Inside the puddle, your face appears. Not the face of the Amber currently fighting, the one from the laboratory. The one who remembered everything. She presses both hands against the dark surface. She tries to warn you, but you cannot hear her over the battle. Then another voice speaks from somewhere deeper inside the puddle. It is not Amber, it is the scientist. The fluid successfully copied him before you ignited it, and now he is trapped inside the fire with every previous Amber, he whispers. It doesn't need her anymore. The puddle begins moving across the arena by itself. Nobody notices. Everyone is fighting. The audience is cheering. You turn away from it and laugh as your attack burns through another enemy. This is lit. Behind you, the fire fluid reaches the edge of the map. Then it continues moving out of the arena, through the gates, and into Starr Park. So the next time you play Amber, pay attention. Why does her attack flow continuously instead of firing like normal ammunition? Because the flame is escaping from something inside her. Why does she pause and wait for it to return? Because Starr Park is feeding it another memory. Why does she throw fire fluid that responds to her flame? Because the fluid recognizes the body it was taken from. Why does standing near it make her reload faster? Because she is absorbing previous versions of herself. Why does she leave a trail while running? Because her containment system is leaking. Why do 3 flames circle her without being aimed? Because they are there to stop Amber from escaping. Why does her hypercharged fluid keep burning after she stops attacking? Because the creature is learning to survive without its host. Why does Amber wear a colorful performer's costume instead of protective equipment? Because Starr Park does not want the audience to see an experiment. It wants them to see a star. And why does she keep joking when everything around her is burning? Because the real Amber is buried somewhere beneath the voice lines, trying to convince herself this is fine, even though she has died 812 times, even though every puddle contains another version of her, and even though the fire currently wearing her face may finally be ready to choose a new one.